Right. Well, it is Friday, and we had a TV talk on Wednesday, and we had the review of This Is Us on Monday. I'll probably do another one this Monday because the show is really freaking good. And I've been watching Severance, and boy, oh boy, is there a twist at the end of episode 7, season 1. Holy moly! Anyway, I release videos intermittently, and some people watch them, some people don't, and that's okay. But I figure in my Griepf process, I'm going to coin that term thanks to Eric Striffler, my good buddy, who said the title of my book should be called Griepf, Griepf. I don't know what the P stands for in there. It was mostly just a misspoke a couple of videos ago. But doing like some mini positivity reports on certain days when I'm really feeling it. I'll be honest, I had a breakdown about 20 minutes ago. And I don't know if the right move was to come here and just put a video out on YouTube, but I'm going to do it. My wife really wants me to go see a therapist, and I think that therapy is important for the people that do it. I think for some certain therapists are amazing at it. And I don't know any bad ones because I've never really talked to anybody be like, oh, my therapist stinks, because I think if they stunk, they probably wouldn't go to them. And if they stunk, they probably wouldn't like spread the word of that therapist. Although that is kind of a funny idea for a show, being like a terrible therapist. Although isn't that like sort of the plot of Shrinking? Like Jason Segel really shouldn't be a therapist, really. And I think maybe that's the point of the show. Regardless, I think, anyway, that idea's already been done. Okay, back to this. I think that my Griepf journey recently has been brutal. I cry a lot more. All right. If you've ever been in a relationship and it was like a longer term one, and I say this because like the longest term relationship I've ever been is my current marriage, and before that was my wife as my girlfriend and fiance. Before her, it was like a couple months at a time, 3 months. I think like my max before that was maybe like 6 months, 4 months, 5 months, something like that. And like you break up, and then one night you see them, and you have like maybe this only happened to me, or maybe it's definitely happened to other people. It has to. Like you have like a moment where you see them at like a bar or like an outing or something, and then you have a couple of drinks, and then you end up back at their place. And the feeling of being back at their place after you haven't been there for a very long time in that relationship, it feels creepy. Not creepy. It feels like, I guess nostalgic is the word, but it just feels like so different, because at one point you were there all of the time. That was your life. And then that part of your life is kind of ripped out by either you or her or him or whatever, but that part of your life is gone for a long time. And then for one brief fleeting moment, you are back in that world, and you're like, it doesn't feel the same. It feels different. It feels the same, but very different. And you try and recreate that feeling, but it's impossible. And I think that's why like certain breakups stick, is because when you go back, it's the line in Scenes from an Italian Restaurant with Billy Joel. It's like, once you go back, you can never go back there again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I think how the lyric goes. That's like, I think that's what my grief journey has been like lately, is I keep thinking like, if my brother were to come back today, what would I tell him? Like how excited would I be to see him, and like how much has he missed over the last 8 months, and how like excited I would be to like walk him through certain things, whether it's with his family or my family or our friends, or silly videos on the internet that we both like would have loved. And I think it all stemmed, and this is like really technologically specific, is that I'm on a big group thread with my cousins, and all of a sudden the text thread went to green because we all have iPhones. And going to green, I was like, did one of my cousins like go to the dark side and get an Android or something? And I realized it was because my brother's phone number is no longer active. It's those little things of like, well, yeah. And that like crushed me, right? And so I think like the point of that is to say like, when grief hits you in a really hard way, you don't see it coming. You really don't. And then a couple days ago, my grandma, who's 95, fell, and she's now in hospice. And so the grief keeps coming. And my cousin went to see her today because she's all the way in Pittsburgh, and it's obviously very hard for me to get to Pittsburgh from California at times. And she's been, when you get old like that, dementia, she doesn't, know a lot of people are, it's really hard. And I said my goodbyes many a time. And I think, the more times you say goodbye to somebody, I don't know, man, like again, everybody feels emotions different, especially grief. But, my cousin went to see her today, and she held her hand and said my name, which crushes me. So, again, I commented on I think it was like a Tank's Good News thing about a grandpa who had left a bucket of balls near a batting cage, and he said his son was older and his grandson was older, and what he wouldn't give to just have one more batting cage session, throw some baseballs to his son or his grandson. And I look at my little daughter every day, and I think, one day she's just going to be old, and she's not going to want to snuggle with me in the morning, and she's not going to say the funny things that she says. And it's really hard to live in the moment sometimes. But man, when you do, it's beautiful. So, hold on to those things, and don't ever take for granted the time you have with your people, right? Look forward to the big events. Look forward to the phone calls, to the texts, to the things. I know I say it all the time, but you just never know. And when that time comes and you lose somebody super important in your life, having those memories and having those things is super, super important, that you did enjoy it when you had it. And that's what I think choosing positivity is all about, is really feeling yourself in the moment and realizing that all the happiness that you can hold on to is yours. Nobody can take it from you, and it's yours. So love it and embrace it. So a little bit of Friday Griepf motivation for everybody. Enjoy your weekends. And like I always say, choose positivity. It's an active choice. Call somebody, text them, tell them you love them. It matters. It's way easier to love than hate. Find the good. I have far too many catchphrases. And I will see you when I see you.